What if the Boston Celtics are hiding a move that could reshape the entire Eastern Conference? A move so unexpected that even Milwaukee, desperate and cornered, has been watching every detail unfold in silence. Tonight, we dig into a rumor that feels small on paper but shakes the league at its foundation. And the question lingering in the air is simple. Why now? Milwaukee just snapped a brutal losing streak, and the relief felt real. Giannis crushed Brooklyn with ease, but the celebration had a strange aftertaste, almost like fear. His post-game comments sounded less like confidence and more like a warning. When a superstar starts hinting at impatience, every front office move gains weight. And that is where this story truly begins. Reports say Milwaukee quietly kept an eye on Anthony Simons after Boston brought him in during that wild offseason of cap gymnastics. They wanted scoring, spark, someone who could bail them out when Giannis sat. But why target a player from the team that embarrassed them last spring? What nobody expected was the hidden message behind this interest. It exposes something deeper about both franchises, with Boston wrestling with luxury tax pressure and Tatum dealing with a long Achilles recovery. Rivals sense vulnerability. For the first time in years, people whisper that Boston might actually give something up. Simons is on an expiring deal. He is productive, but he is not untouchable. And that tiny crack in the armor has teams circling like sharks. But is it weakness or strategy? Publicly, Boston refuses to add a future first-round pick in any Simons trade. Privately, insiders claim the door is not fully closed, and this raises the real dilemma. If a team is ignoring offers, why keep the rumors alive? Was it bait, a distraction, or something the public was never meant to know? The entire narrative feels too convenient to be accidental. Is this rumor simply smoke from Milwaukee? Or is Boston preparing a move that could shift the conference again before spring arrives? This story is far from over. Drop your take in the comments, because the next chapter might involve a name none of us are expecting. And if you want the breakdown of the next big Celtics twist, stay tuned for the upcoming episode. A fresh report reveals that the Milwaukee Bucks have been monitoring Anthony Simons with quiet persistence. This is not casual interest. It appears during a 7-game losing streak, during a moment when Giannis himself questioned the direction of his franchise. When a contender starts checking another contender's bench for relief, it sets off alarms around the league. Simons thrives as a perimeter weapon, shooting above 40% from deep in his first stretch with Boston. Milwaukee's offense collapses without Giannis on the floor. And they know it. They see Simons as insurance, an anchor when their superstar rests. But is this evaluation honest, or is it a panic signal from a team fearing its own collapse? That uncertainty adds fuel to the rumor. The Celtics already discussed several off-season frameworks around Simons before the season even began. Nothing materialized, but the smoke never vanished. They also explored adding Ron Sharp to reinforce a fragile front court. Sharp's production since then shows why. Boston saw the cracks early, and now those cracks collide with the Simons situation in a way that raises eyebrows. Boston sits above the luxury tax, with Simons carrying a contract in its final year. Moving him would open financial flexibility that the franchise has tried to protect since the summer. Yet, reports say Boston refuses to attach a first-round pick to any Simons package. That stance reveals something important. They do not see him as a lost piece. They see him as leverage. Boston is battling an uneven start and searching for identity, while Tatum recovers. They need scoring, they need depth, and they need financial breathing room. Trading Simons could solve two problems at once. But letting him go might also remove one of the few explosive bench weapons the team possesses. This crossroads feels bigger than a simple salary shuffle. Boston is not the only team that could move pieces before February, and Milwaukee is not the only team desperate for scoring guards. With Simons as a high-salary expiring contract, multiple contenders could enter the chase. That creates chaos, leverage, and the possibility of a trade landscape flipped upside down by one unpredictable piece. And the league knows it. So the question now is simple. Will Boston play defense, hold Simons, and wait for his value to rise? Or will they strike first and reshape their season before the deadline arrives? This is a developing storm, and we are only at its edge. Drop your take below, because the next twist might involve a franchise neither side expects. And stay tuned, the next episode dives into the hidden domino behind all of them. Boston snapped Detroit's long drought, stabilized the rotation, and found rhythm. But behind that progress sits a growing belief that the team still needs one more piece. That is where Bill Simmons are. Nearly 20 points, strong rebounding, efficient shooting, and defensive reign. In a league built around versatile wings, players like Murphy shape entire eras. And when one becomes available, even hypothetically, contenders listen. But should Boston listen as closely as Simmons suggests? It is not just the scoring, it is the size, the defensive switchability, the shooting mechanics that seem to improve each month. He has expanded his role every season, and coaches across the league praise his maturity. Some even call him a future all-star. Boston knows how rare wings like this are. They also know how dangerous it is to wait until the rest of the league realizes it too. His skill set fits Boston's core perfect. He cuts away pressure from Brown and Tatum, adds athleticism in transition, and reinforces their defensive identity. He does not disrupt the hierarchy, he elevates it. For a team that thrives on spacing, movement, and versatility, he could become the final upgrade in a roster built for deep runs. But even perfect fits carry hidden costs. Boston is not desperate. They are winning, improving, and regaining their identity. But teams at this level plan years ahead. Murphy fits the vision of the next half-decade. He aligns with age, contract, and role. Simmons did not create this idea out of thin air. He articulated what many around the league suspect already. Boston will eventually take another big swing. So the real question becomes this: if the window is opening now, is Murphy the player who turns opportunity into inevitability? Or is the price too high for a team still redefining itself without Tatum? Let me know in the comments if you think Boston should push or hold. And stay locked in, because the next video dives into the secret option that no one has connected to the Celtics yet. What if the move nobody is talking about becomes the one that changes everything for the Boston Celtics? Tonight we dive into a signing that looks tiny on paper, but may carry a shockwave big enough. Right after the win over Cleveland, the front office acted with a sense of urgency that raised eyebrows across the league. With Jaylen Brown dropping nearly 30 a night and hitting almost half of his shots, fans expected stability, not a gamble. So why bring in a player who has bounced around team? And what does that reveal about the hidden concerns inside the franchise right now? Keon Johnson arrives as a 23-year-old with a vertical leap that still sounds unreal. A record-breaking 48 inches. He started more than 50 games last season and delivered over 10 points per night. Yet the question is simple: can explosive bounce and sheer speed fill the gaps that have haunted the Celtics' rotation during tight contests? Or is this just another experiment waiting to fail? While analysts debate numbers and fit, one truth echoes: Boston needs a third burst of energy, someone who can tilt momentum in unpredictable ways. Johnson thrives in chaos, sprints in transition, and defends with wild intensity. The real mystery is whether his style can sync with the precision that defines the Celtics. And then, the unexpected: his private tryout left staff stunned, hinting that the plan for him might be bigger than anyone guessed. So now the question becomes yours. Is Keon Johnson a forgotten talent about to revive his path in Boston, or just a footnote in a season full of pressure and doubts? The answer may define the next chapter of the Celtics story. Tell me in the comments if you believe this signing mattered. And get ready, because the next video breaks down a move that might shake the entire conference.